Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. We're going to talk Cubs Royals. Royals beat us last night 4-0, and I just wanted to go through the game. There's some things that happened that we need to know about, and it didn't really go well. So we'll try to take some of the positives out of it. But let's get you up to speed with what happened. Let me give you the starting lineup. Miles Mastroboni started at second base, leading off. Garrett Cooper got a start at first base. That was his first, hitting second. Michael Bush got a start at DH, hitting in the third hole. Canario was in right field, clean up. Matt Shaw got a start at third base, hitting fifth. PCA was in center field, sixth hole. Kevin Alcantara, the Jaguar, got a start in left field, hitting seventh. And Joe Hudson got a start catching, hitting eighth. And Luis Vasquez started at shortstop, hitting ninth. So let me just give you kind of a feel for what really happened offensively. It was a pretty anemic night. Not really a lot. We never strung hits together. Anything really notable. But Miles Mastroeni went 0 for 3. Didn't do much. Garrett Cooper did go 1 for 3. And he had a line drive right back up the middle in the center field that he hit really hard. And I thought it was a really good base hit because he had two strikes on him. And it was an off-speed pitch, a hanging breaker, and he really stayed back on it really nicely and didn't try to do too much with it. Just sort of took it where it was pitched and hit a nice hard line drive. So it was a really nice two-strike approach for Garrett Cooper. And Garrett plays first base, and I'm just going to tell you, my first thought as I watch Garrett Cooper around first base and watch him move, just the visual of it, Trey Mancini popped into my head. That was the look. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm telling you is just it reminded me Trey Mancini came into my head. Michael Bush he went 1 for 4, had a really good double, hit the ball hard down the line, struck out twice. Canario went 0 for 3. Shaw played really well last night. Shaw went 0 for 2 with a walk, but he still puts the bat on the ball. He grounded out to shortstop twice with his walk for 0 for 2, but still really good at bats. Like you come away from his at bats thinking next time up he's gonna find a hole. And he played really good third base last night. In fact, he made a really fantastic play where he had to go hard to his right. He backhanded a hop chest high, and his momentum carried him into the foul territory. He turned around and threw a dart, threw the guy out. I don't know. I've been talking down on Matt Shaw's defensive skills. Maybe I've been wrong. Maybe. I don't know. Matt Shaw looked really good defensively last night. PCA in the sixth hole went 0 for 3. The good news with PCA is in his last at bat, his first, he struck out, got on a weak grounder on a fielder's choice where it could have been a double play ball, but he beat the wrap. He got out of the box and he can fly. So he did get on base on a fielder's choice, but then immediately got picked off. And I'm just going to say this with PCA last night. I think he pulled himself together, but he got picked off by a left-hander. And the left-hander did that quick step-back snap throw, and it caught him. He was out. He was out by a good foot, right? The left-handed first baseman for the Royals tagged him on his hip before he got, well, PCA was frustrated. He got up and he starts jawing with the ump. And I didn't like it. I was like, so his first reaction wasn't, I got picked off and blamed himself. He got up and started jawing with the ump, and I didn't like it at all. It looked very youthful, and I was disappointed. He pulled himself out of it pretty quickly, though. You could see probably 3, 4, 5 seconds later, he got control of himself, and as he was walking out, he tapped himself on the head like, okay, that was me. Then going out to center field the next inning, he stops and he talks to the ump, and I thought that was good. And I don't know what was said, but it looked like the ump was explaining it to him, and I feel like PCA might have gone out to apologize. I don't know, but that's what happened. Good, Craig Counsell's been talking about all these learning. He wants the players to make mistakes, especially the young guys. So they make mistakes and they learn from it. And PCA learned from one last night. The good thing with PCA last night is I feel like he left the game on a high. because his last at bat, he hit a rocket. I mean, he hit a line drive to center field that just hung up long enough for the center fielder to sort of track it down. But he hit the ball flush. Then Lee Smineker interviewed him after, and he did a really, really nice interview talking about kind of where he is. So it was kind of an interesting night for PCA. I just wanted to share that with you. Kevin Alcantara went 0 for 3. Didn't look good. Struck out twice. Grounded out to third in his third plate appearance. Joe Hudson had a rough night. Joe catcher got hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Then the next inning, he has what I'm going to call a pass ball. And what it looked like to me is he tried to frame it, and it was an outside pitch. He tried to grab it and pull it back in. Well, he left too soon. The ball hit off the end of his mitt. Went to the backstop, so that was a pass ball, and it ended up scoring a run. But then he also takes a foul ball off his right hand. He was positioned, had his right hand on his right thigh, and foul ball hit him right. I'm going to say right here. So he stayed in the game at the time, like catchers do, but then he didn't come back. They put in Aliendo. So I haven't heard the news on Hudson. Maybe they just wanted to get some ice on it and, not push it. But anyway, Joe Hudson left without an official at bat last night. Luis Vazquez started at shortstop, and he made an error that probably will be the only time he makes this error all year. He just booted a routine chest-high hop, maybe 2 or 3 steps to his left, and he just didn't look it in. It just was too lackadaisical. It hit off the tip of his glove here, ended up hitting me in the face for an error. So Luis Vazquez kind of made an error that's unlike him, and we ended up getting out of that inning. It didn't cost us, but that's sort of what happened. He went 1 for 3, but the base hit that he got, I sort of called it an error. I thought the second baseman had to range over, and he got there, and it was a forehand, and he just missed it. But I think because he had to range so far, official score gave him a hit. I personally gave it an error on the play. When they made the changes and they put Matt Mervis in, there was a situation that Matt, there was a pop-up behind first base, and Matt called it, and he's backing up. Well, Strumpf, who had come in for Miles Mastroboni, was coming over to take it, and Mervis called him off, very adamantly too. And the ball dropped, and Mervis missed it by like 4 feet. It wasn't even close. And so that didn't look well. So defensively, it wasn't great. The thing that happened offensively is Owen Caissie came in late. Owen Caissie came in for Kevin Alcantara late and ended up only getting 1 at bat. So Owen Caissie's only at bat last night. He came in with 2 outs, top of the 9th. We're down 4-0. The 2 guys ahead of him whiffed easily. It wasn't even close. And so Owen Caissie comes up, and it was just his demeanor again. He wasn't stressing. He wasn't pressed. Dude is just ultimately as confident as I've ever seen a hitter. And he comes in, and guys, he hits this ringing double. I mean, he turns on this thing, topspin line drive. If it didn't have topspin on it, it would have gone out easily. But it's a topspin line drive that hit at the base of the wall, probably 3 or 4 feet inside the foul line in right field. I mean, he just hammers this thing. And he did it at the end of a game where we were just so anemic the whole game. And in that inning, we were ultimately anemic in those first 2 batters. And all of a sudden, Owen Caissie steps in the box, and it's a brand new deal. I mean, it was an interesting turn of events late in that game where we were out of his 4-0. We're 2 outs. First 2 guys struck out, didn't get close to it, and the game was over. Well, Owen Caissie comes in, and next thing you know, got a little mini rally going. It was his 10th hit. I'm not sure what the numbers are now. I haven't checked it, but he may be leading spring training in hits. Dude's got 10. We'll cover more on that a little bit later. So that's the offensive side of things. On the pitching side, I was really excited all day long to get to see Caleb Kilian start. Obviously, want to kind of see what Kilian does. But because of kind of what we're seeing with Drew Smiley, what we're seeing with Hayden Wisniewski, and what we're seeing with Javier Assad, Jordan Wicks appears to have shown himself as the fifth guy. But I think we need another one. And I was just really hoping that Caleb Kilian would be that guy. So I was excited to see him in this start last night. And if you haven't heard, it didn't end well. Caleb Kilian pitched 2+ innings. Pitched 2 innings, gave up a hit and an earned run, and looked really good. He wasn't super sharp, but he was throwing gas and getting it up and in, and he had a breaker that was freezing people. And again, not completely sharp where he was just pinpointing it, but command enough that he was trouble. And I'm like, oh, he looks good. That's what we're looking for. Comes out in the third and throws just a handful of pitches and then calls the guys out in a discomfort of some type. So Caleb Kilian came out of the game with some type of discomfort last night, and we're going to have to see what that is. But I was just decimated. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Here we go. So we'll have to see what happens. But Caleb Kilian came out with discomfort last night. He was replaced by Frankie Scalzo Jr. Frankie did a pretty good job. Pitched an inning, gave up a hit. The high point was Ben Brown. Ben Brown was flat out nasty last night. Ben pitched 2 innings, had a strikeout. They weren't even close. Ben Brown looked really good last night. Luke Little came in, pitched an inning. Luke had a little bit of an issue because Luke was pitching when Matt Mervis called that pop-up and it dropped, so that guy gets on. And then Luke tries to overdo it. So Luke tries to pick the guy off with that quick step back snap throw, and he pulled it, and throwing error, guy goes to second. So Luke had to fight it out a little bit, but he ends up going 1 inning, and that one hit, the pop fly that fell. But he struck out 2 guys. Luke looked really good last night, and he kind of got out of his head a little bit with that throwing error, and it took him a few pitches to kind of find his way back, but he did that, so Luke was fine. Richard Lovelady, so hoping that he would come in and do well. He didn't. He pitched an inning, gave up a hit, gave up 3 earned runs, walked a guy, gave up a home run, did strike out 2. So it was a rough inning for Richard Lovelady, and that's, I think, his second consecutive rough outing. Then finish it out, Sam McWilliams came in. Sam looked awesome. He did give up a hit, but he struck out 2 guys, and I thought Sam looked really good. So that's kind of where we are. Caleb Kilian is obviously of concern. We'll have to see what happens there. On the good news today, my understanding is Cody Bellinger is going to be in the lineup, DHing, and he's going to be playing in the field probably on Friday, Saturday at the latest, the way it looks. Patrick Wisdom, tight quad, still not really running yet, so he's still kind of, we're waiting for that, and we don't know what Madrigal's situation is. We don't know kind of where Hap is yet. So there's a lot of things that are kind of up in the air, but we'll see what happens. We got Justin Steele going for us today against the Angels, so we'll just look forward to that. Guys, thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Really enjoy talking to you guys, and we'll see you very soon. Go Cubs, go.